welcome back to my channel. So today's look is going to be a hair tutorial. I haven't done one in a while on my channel, so I really wanted to get one up for you guys. And kind of watching the Miss Universe pageant this weekend and previously watching the Victoria's Secret fashion show, I just felt like a nice soft look that kind of can go for every day or a formal occasion would be something that works great for you guys to kind of follow along and add to any of your routines that you do. This was inspired by Miss Colombia, although pretty much I would say half of the contestants in the Miss Universe pageant kind of had this hairstyle since it is so effortless and soft and goes with lots of looks. If you guys saw the pageant, of course, you know the whole uproar of Miss Colombia first getting the title and then it being an error and Miss Philippines winning. I just kind of wanted to shed some light on that before I get all into the tutorial. There's been a lot of controversy around the whole topic. Steve Harvey getting a lot of heat because of the error that he did. I just want you guys to kind of remember that we are all humans and we do make mistakes. That's what makes us us. That's what makes us grow and become better individuals at the end of the day. So just kind of, you know, don't be so judgmental on others. Put yourself in their shoes before you go and judge, especially here in YouTube and in the beauty community. I feel like there's a lot of people that are just hidden behind their computers and writing negative things on YouTube to others, and they don't realize how it truly can affect someone. It can affect their day negatively. It could even in the long run affect their lives if they're unfortunately receiving a lot of negative comments. So same goes along for this. Of course, you do feel sad for both parties. Miss Colombia, unfortunately, she felt like she won and she was all excited, and unfortunately she got the crown taken away. And then Miss Philippines, unfortunately, I felt that she didn't really get her moment to shine because of the just huge craziness that you could have never expected. But I guess that's what live television is, and as I mentioned, we are all human beings, so just kind of cut people a little bit more slack and just place yourself in their position before going and commenting something negatively or speaking poorly about another individual. So yeah, that's my little tip of the day, and let's get right into this video. Get right into it. So the first thing you're going to need is, of course, a comb, because you just want to brush through any type of knots that you have in your hair. My hair, I left it basically about a day old hair, so I washed it yesterday. I let it air dry, and then it just kind of has some leftover curls. Before running out the house, I just kind of added a little bit of curls since I needed to go get my nails done earlier. But generally, you just want to do this. You can do it from freshly washed hair. You can do it on a day or two old hair that's a little bit dirty. Whatever is your, of course, preference. Through any of the tangles and knots that you may have, just to make sure you have a nice smooth canvas when you begin this hair look. So just brush through on the ends. When I tend to brush through like this, as you guys can tell, my hair tends to get a little bit frizzy. So we're just going to be putting some product in there to avoid that. I have already applied a heat protectant. The one that I use is the Tresemme heat protectant. I'll go ahead and leave go ahead and leave a link down below to all the products that I'm going to be using in this particular tutorial for you guys. Whenever using any hot tools, you always want to make sure you apply heat protectant. It's so important to keep your hair healthy and strong. So I already applied that. We went ahead and we combed through any of the knots that we had throughout the hair, and then the next thing you're going to want to do is part the hair. You can, of course, do what you feel suits you best. Some people think side parts look better on them, middle parts, whatever. I'm just going to go along, since it is a recreated look, and go with the hair part that she had, which was a middle part. So I just kind of like to brush the hair back with my fingers like this, and then this comb, excuse the excess hair that's on there, and then just use this comb to kind of create the part. So from the center of my nose, middle of the forehead, just go straight back and then part it so you get a nice straight part, as you can see here. So that just works out for us like that. Then the next thing we're going to do is you're going to want to turn on your hot iron. This way it heats up. I've had mine on for about 10 minutes now to get it nice and heated so we can apply it to the hair. The one that I'm using today is the Nume 5-in-1. This is a detachable barrel, which works really great. There comes a whole bunch of different ones. This one is the 32mm. So the next thing you're going to want to use is some dry shampoo. The one that I love, of course, you guys heard me rave about it on my monthly favorites. It is the Batiste dry shampoo. Personally, this is the one I feel that works best. They have different ones that are for dark hair, which I prefer to go towards, so when you put it in, you don't see any of that white residue. Unfortunately, they were sold out. As you guys can tell here, I'm not doing anything fancy with it. I'm just brushing my fingers through it to kind of get rid of that white powder. You always want to make sure you blend it out. And I'm not particularly parting my hair in any fancy, particular formal way. I just spray it at the roots that I need to get it, and just take it almost like you're shampooing your hair with your nails. That's how I like to buff it into the scalp, so we get rid of that white residue and really give volume to the hair. Next, we're going to go ahead with the curling process. I like to leave my hair in 2 sections. I feel like it's the easiest way to curl it, and of course the fastest, which is what I always like to go for since I'm kind of always running out of time. So I just break it into 2 different sections, and then I'm going to take, I would say, about a portion of the hair fairly thick. You don't want to go so thin. The thinner you create the pieces, the tighter the curls are going to be. So I just take something for about this thickness. Works great. And then I take the curling wand and I lay it flat onto the hair, and I'm just going to place it around the barrel. So as you guys can tell here, when I'm going around, it tends to make the curls go in spiral motion. You just want to undo that with your fingers and make sure it's flatly going around the barrel, because if it goes in a spiral motion, it is going to create a different type of curl. For the one that we're going for today, we want to make sure it's flatly on the barrel. So I like to count to about 10 to 15 seconds max that I leave this into my hair, and then I will let it loose and let it into my hand. This way it can slowly cool and the curl won't drop so much. Alright, so as you can tell there, I'm just going to let it go, fall right into my hand here like this. This way it cools down just a little bit for about 2 to 3 seconds, and then I'm going to let the curl loose. Just to keep it divided, I then place it behind my head. So as I'm doing it, that's basically how I section off. Nothing fancy. Once again, simple. You don't need extra ponytails, clips, anything like that. I just break it into these 2 sections, and I'm going to just fast forward through all of this since it's the same process just over and over again, so you guys can just follow along and see what I'm doing. Alright, so I'm just going to jump into the video here and do a quick just explain something to you guys really quick. So once I get to the front sections of my hair, where you can see it starts to get layered up here, I am going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to take the same strands of pieces, same sizes, that's not going to change, but what is going to change, the placement of the barrel. We want to now focus on placing the hair away from the face. This way the curls are facing outward. So I like to take my wand, I place it upside down, and then I'm taking the hair and same thing, flatly on the barrel, but I'm going back away from my face. This is just going to make sure the hair and the curls come out a little bit differently. So as was depicted for her Miss Universe pageant, she had the hair facing outward towards the front of the face. So we're just going to be doing the same, and the same amount of seconds you're going to apply the heat to your hair. Alright, so that's the last strands of hair that we're doing. I just let it loose. Now I'm going to bring the hair up to the front. As you guys can tell, these have like some nice flowy curls, but they're of course still a little too tight for the look we're trying to create. And not only that, I wanted to go ahead and add a pair of extensions to my hair. This way we can just add the more volume. All of the girls in the Miss America pageant generally do wear hair extensions, so I wanted to go ahead and apply mine to recreate this look. The ones that I'm using today are from BellaMi Hair, and I'm going to be using 2 wefts of them. I'll go ahead and leave a link down below of where you can purchase these and the exact shade that I'm using because I don't remember. I do have a coupon code for you guys if you're interested in purchasing these. These are the only extensions I ever wear. I absolutely love them. I'm just going to section off a piece of where we're going to apply the hair extension. So just kind of where my eyes kind of meet here, I like to apply it right over there. I'm going to section that off and then just kind of part it up this way. And then I'm just going to unclip these wefts. I apply 2 stacked on each other. That's just the easiest way I feel to wear them. These are already have a wave and curl to them when I previously wore them, so I don't need to recurl them. And I'm just going to be applying them right into the roots of the hair. So clipping those right on in. I do have an in-depth tutorial that I did on my channel on these extensions. If you guys want to see how to apply them and everything like that, you can check that out. And then I'm just going to let loose up here of that top portion. This way we can just make sure the extensions and the hair are all in and secured. Alright, so now what we're going to do, we're just going to be putting our hands through the hair just to go ahead and, like I mentioned, I want to brush out some of these curls. So I'm just going to take my comb and kind of go through it like that. So we just want to make sure they're nice and flowy and voluminous. And for the top portion of the hair, I just like to really take my hands. I feel like it works best and easiest. And just kind of massage it into the scalp just so that the top portion can have the most volume. And not only that, but so it can also provide all of that curl to kind of go towards the bottom as she had it that day. So just kind of keeping up with that. Play around with it as much as you want just till you get the desired look. And the next thing I'm going to do, as you guys can see, when you play around with the hair a lot and with the dry shampoo and everything and the curls, it does tend to get like flyaways all throughout here and a little bit of static. So next I'm going to be taking my bed head after party. This is almost like a gel type of like a cream consistency. So I'm just going to take 1 pump of that, so kind of that much if you can see it, and I'm just going to run it through my fingers and just run it through the hair. It's just going to give a nice smooth texture to it, and I like to apply a little bit over here where I tend to get flyaways. And same thing, just working it all throughout the hair, getting those curls to get looser and flowier. Throughout the day your curls are going to fall, so of course you don't want to go too crazy when putting your hands through it and loosening it up. Let's just do that. And then finally the last thing we're going to be using is the Sebastian Professional Shaper. It's dry brushable styling hairspray. This just gives a nice soft glaze to the hair and will allow it to stay in place, but it won't make it hard textured look, which is what we're not going for. So just kind of spray that throughout your hair on the other side as well. There we go. Alright, so this is just going to kind of make our hair nice and soft and all put together. So those are all the products that I use for this video. I'll kind of just do a close-up so you guys can see what it looks like. So as you can tell, the top portion is just nice and flowy. Nothing too crazy. The curls kind of start towards the top of your ears, which is what she had on the night of her competition. And then yeah, this is what the final look looks like. Like I mentioned, super simple to create. It's a very easy look. It'll take you, depending of course on the length of your hair, about 15 to 20 minutes max. So if you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to thumbs up this video, comment down below if you have any requests, and of course subscribe to my channel if you aren't already, and I'll talk to you in my next one. Bye!